Now, Oando PLC has declared its 2023 audited financial statements will be released 7 days later than planned. This comes after an initial notification on October 2nd, 2024 about an anticipated delay brought on by Oando's recent acquisition. The board and audit committee of the company convened to examine and approve the 2023 AFS and to accept the financials temporarily while awaiting the auditor's final assessment. Oando, however, revealed in a notice to the Nigerian Exchange Limited that the auditors had requested for more time to assess the acquisition's impact before providing their audit opinion. Now, for more on this story, Arise business analyst Chika Mbonu joins me to discuss this further. Good morning to you, Mr. Chika, joining us from the capital city today.
Abby, how are you today?
Very
Don't miss
well.
me too much.
I'm trying very well. It's great to see you. Well, let's begin with Oando's update on the 2023 audited financial statements filing timeline. What do we make of this?
You know, when we do work on this program, on this our global business report, we do things responsibly because we're out there to educate and inform the general public. I decided to comment on this Oando suspension of shares because of an email I got from one of our viewers who was worried that having listened to us in our analysis of Oando over the period, he saw us analyzing Oando, and he has bought Oando shares of 50,000 shares in the past, and he was wondering what will happen to his shares. So I just thought that we should talk about that a little in 1 or 2 minutes. Now, the first thing I want to put out there is that we discuss a company on air here does not really mean we don't recommend shares for anybody to go and buy any company shares. We are very neutral when it comes to that. Our work is to educate and inform. But having said that, Oando Stock Exchange came out with the news last week that Oando shares have been suspended from trading. And, and so some people were worried. See, the beauty of belonging to the Nigerian exchange, Nigerian Stock Exchange, as it is it comes with the advantages, the things you gain by belonging there. In addition to that, coming on top of that, also concurrently, is you must have responsibilities, things you must do for being a member of the exchange. And this things include the fact that you must submit your annual reports or even periodic reports at particular times during the year, and would in a particular format. Now, let's focus on the Oando issue, the one they didn't. 2023 result. The exchange rule is that it should be submitted on or before 30th of March, subsequent year, which is like 2024 March. Now, they allow you through if you have some issues, which you apply to them, to extend it for another period, maybe up to June 30th. And after that period, they can also allow you to extend it. And then what happens is that by the time that you finish extending it and the date you are giving to them that the report will come, their rule says that they will do 1 or 2 or 3 things to you, which includes suspending your shares from trading. Now, why is that done? Because remember, the buyers and sellers of your shares require financial information, transparent information, to make decisions whether they buy the shares of your company and hold it or sell the one they've already bought. And so it's the responsibility of the exchange to make sure that is done. I can understand the scenario, the situation that Oando found himself. In my auditing experience, in my auditing years, that's what we call subsequent event review. It means that if we're auditing 2023, which ends in December 31, 2023, we are also allowed to check things that happen after December 2023 if they are very material. You know, one of the situations, it was the fact that they made a major acquisition. And that acquisition can affect so many things that happen in their books. And the auditors were trying to reflect that, and that takes some time. And that made them miss the deadline. And for those who are worried, the shareholders who are worried, please, your shares have just been given yellow card, not red card. They're not cancelled. Once Oando sorts out these issues, which they are promised to do on or before November 1, trading will start on those shares again. You know, so let everybody cool down. Nothing has spoiled again in the Nigerian parlance. You know, once they can correct this anomaly, once they can file results, audited results that the exchange is acceptable to the exchange, the suspension will be lifted and trading can start again. This is just for the benefit of our viewers.
Yeah, that's extremely important to know. Well, thanks for sharing insights on that. Let's look next at the incessant power outages crippling northern and southeastern businesses and healthcare services. What's this about?
Abi, we spoke about power last week, and we talked about the fact that, the tripartite, parties in this power value chain in Nigeria, which is the generation companies, short for GenCos for short, the transmission companies, and then the distribution companies. In this case, for what has happened in largely most of the north and maybe some part of the east, the transmission towers tripped. There have been a lot of issues involved in that. Security challenges, vandals have cut a lot of cables and so on and so forth, which we addressed last week, and I thought about the fact that because the nation is one unit, the distribution in Nigeria is one unit, transmission in Nigeria one unit, and because of that, what affects one section literally affects the whole unit. And we thought about the fact that the government may have to look into this. And I know that the transmission company of Nigeria is working day and night to make sure that is restored. I won't come here now to talk about the impact of no light in the life of Nigerian citizens, especially our brothers and sisters in the north, in their businesses, in their healthcare, and so on and so forth. So this is a major national emergency and calamity. And I'm hoping that all the people involved, the government, the transmission company, everybody involved, is working day and night to make sure that power is restored. Again, it goes to the root of the fundamental issues we have in our power value chain. It's a problem. If you remember, the MD of the transmission company of Nigeria has come out to say that a lot of the equipment they have are 30 to 50 years old, and all these things fail at any moment. So I'm hoping that this will be a trigger for the government to take another look at this infrastructure and make sure that the right things are done to make sure that the power is sustained. Power happens to be alive and directs the life and the business of the citizens. And I'm hoping that this does not affect even our GDP at the end of the day, the level of unemployment, because a lot of businesses are closed down in this respect.
Right, there's certainly a multiplier effect there. And of course, one of the biggest gripes that they had was about certainty of time. But talking about time, we don't have so much of that left. But let's look next at the CBN holding talks with IMTOs to raise remittance inflows to 1 billion naira monthly. What's your take on this? Is this a little too ambitious? Is it achievable?
I mean, if you look at diaspora reports around the whole world, by the time they count maybe the Indians, maybe the Mexicans, even if you take US alone, maybe the Chinese, Nigeria ranks among the top 5 in the countries that have citizens in the United States. If you go to Canada, the same thing. If you go to a lot of countries, you have Nigerians everywhere. And these Nigerians have linkages in our home country, and a lot of them have had problems sending money back home. And so I had in the past, in this our program again, we always support the government initiative, good initiative of the government in this program. We give the best advice to the government. We recommended what the CBN governor or the CBN team is doing now. We go over these places, hold town hall meetings with Nigerian citizens, understand their problems. Do you know the torture Nigerian citizens go through in renewing their passports? It's the citizens of Nigeria that are happy, that love their country, that can send money back to their country. Some people travel for days and spend money on flights to go to the embassies, and embassies tell them there's no form or there's no whatever to renew their passport. The Minister for Interior Affairs have been trying to get things right. But I also hear that some of the platforms, the networks are not very good. If you open the networks to renew your passport, they say there's no service. So they must make Nigerians love Nigeria, make Nigeria life easier for Nigerians abroad so that they can start sending money back to Nigeria. Right. I sure do know that the $1 billion they're talking about is small compared to what Nigerians can do. Oh, really? And so it's commendable effort that they've started.
Well, we're very happy to hear that. Mr. Chika, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We hope to see you in the Center of Excellence very soon. All right, then.